Hi everyone, and welcome to Sports Watch. If you like the content, please press the bell icon for further notifications and like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Jon Jones reportedly wants $30 million for the Tom Aspinall fight. That was the rumor doing the rounds as per Joe Rogan. Dana White has already stated that the UFC will do everything in their power to make that fight. They would negotiate with Jon Jones when the time is right, and Dana is certain that the fight happens. But the rumor turned out to be false, as Joe clarified it online after Dana had personally called him and refused it. If the rumor of the 30 million were to be true, then it would have been the highest payout that a fighter has ever received from the UFC. Even Conor McGregor hasn't received that amount of money from the company despite being the highest pay-per-view seller. The question was whether the UFC was going to pay up. The answer to that is now a resounding no. Secondly, is Jon Jones overpricing himself? The highest pay-per-view that Jon Jones has been involved in is the second fight with Daniel Cormier. It has reportedly 860,000 buys. His comeback fight at UFC 285 against Cyril Gane generated 750,000 buys, and his latest fight with Stipe Miocic also did somewhere in the range of 700k buys. So, in his long and illustrious career, Jon hasn't broken the $1 million pay-per-view mark yet. So was he right in demanding 30 million? There's no disputing the fact that Jon is the greatest fighter that has ever lived. But is he the greatest in terms of pay-per-view buys? Certainly not. And a big part of that equation is Tom Aspinall. If Jon Jones is demanding that amount of money, then how much are you going to pay Tom Aspinall? He is the interim heavyweight champion of the world and one of the biggest names in the heavyweight division. Plus, he has a whole country behind him. That fight is undoubtedly the biggest fight in the heavyweight division, and Aspinall is a huge part of that main event. A fight of that magnitude demands a huge payout for the challenger as well. The UFC is pretty much aware of that. It's 60-50 in favor of Jones, maybe even 55-45. Both fighters deserve a big share of the pie. So if Jon demands some outlandish amount from the UFC, the company wouldn't subscribe to that. So another rumor doing the rounds is Jon Jones might retire. It's perfectly alright if he does so. He has earned the right to walk out on his own terms. But it might also be delaying tactics just to bring up his value. Jones is perfectly aware of the danger that Aspinall brings. His fights don't usually go past the first round. A possibility of him getting knocked out is very much out there. He made similar excuses when there was a possibility to fight Francis Ngannou. He wanted for Francis to leave and then make his heavyweight debut. So he picked and chose the moment. And the MMA fans are aware of that. Beating a 42-year-old Stipe Miocic, who hasn't won a fight in 4 years, doesn't do anything for Jon's credibility. Stipe looked old and toothless to cause Jon any problem. Aspinall won't be waiting for Jones to engage. He will take the fight to him. And in the blitz, things might happen. Aspinall can get finished as well, but the risk versus reward in that fight is very high. One thing that Jones brings as a heavyweight is variety of strikes. Inside leg kicks, oblique kicks, tips to the body, spinning leg kicks, high kicks, And then the threat of the takedown and heavy ground and pound. The heavyweight division doesn't see that amount of action very often, so they aren't sure how to deal with it. Aspinall too hasn't seen that amount of variety ever. Jones has a 7-inch reach advantage on him. The jab of Jon Jones would be the money, along with the inside leg kicks. In a light sparring session with Rico Verhoeven, Aspinall didn't look too comfortable with those inside leg kicks. Now, granted, it was light sparring and neither of them were pushing each other, but Jones, who studies his opponents in detail, would have most definitely watched the clip and made his reads. Aspinall hasn't gone 5 rounds with anybody. He's a 265-pound man. How will his body react if he can't get Jones out of there in the first 2 rounds? He should try and take Jon Jones down. He's big and strong and has the wrestling to do it. But does he have the cardio to match it? There are a lot of unknowns in that fight. It has the potential to be the fight of the year written all over it. Will Jones walk away undefeated? Or will Tom Aspinall take his undefeated record on his way out? Let me know in the comment section what you feel. And if you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.